Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Real Talks. I'm your host, David Steele. I hope everybody's having a great day. Um, so I went on early because we got a little, so we have to re record something. Matthew Anderson and I are actually going to be redoing one of the perfect movies that we have here on the channel, and that is The Empire Strikes Back. So that is later on today. We're going to be recording that. So guys, come back. I'll put out a notification. About 15, 20 minutes, maybe an hour before. Don't forget to set your notifications, your reminders, and as it says on the bottom of the stream, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, guys, because every time you do this, it gets out to the masses, and more people see this, and that's what A, I'm trying to do, and B, I want everybody to get this great movie content. And speaking of great movie content, we've got a ton of stuff for you today. Um, we've got trailers, we've got production announcements, we've got all this stuff. So I have a couple of announcements coming up at the end of the show, so stay with us and stay with me, and I will talk about that. So let's just jump right into it because I'm not going to waste any time. So this morning, um, so let me preface it by saying this: we had this movie that was supposed to be coming out in July, and so because of you know delays or whatnot, they wanted to get it better tweaked, for lack of a better reason. They moved it to November, and I'm talking about the Marvels. So we actually got our very first look at the Marvels today. Um, and guys, it looks good. It looks fun. It looks good. It looks like a blast. So um, this comes from Deadline. The Marvels first trailer, Captain Marvel's sequel, drops. Brie Larson says new film quote digs into complexities of Captain Marvel's character. Marvel Studios has dropped the trailer for the Marvels during Tuesday's edition of Good Morning America, giving fans a peek at the 33rd film in the MCU. The upcoming film is set to hit theaters November 10th, which sees Brie Larson reprise her role as Captain Marvel, aka Carol Danvers. She is joined by Monica Rambeau, who is introduced in the Disney Plus series WandaVision. Eileen Veloma, excuse me if I mispronounced her name, who plays Kamala Khan and Miss Marvel's completes the trio. The trailer sets the scene for the trio coming together as a team for the first time under the direction of Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury. Talking to Good Morning America about reprising the role of Captain Marvel, Larson said the new film would explore, quote, some of the complexities of the character. The first one, the first one was the origin story of who she is. Now it's digging into some of the complexities, that there is much more to her than that. There are parts that are not so great about her. That we can see a hero as being a person that doesn't make every right decision all the time, she told the show. Nick DeCassis directs the Marvels, in which the sequels is the sequel to Captain Marvel. The film will directly follow the events of the post-credit scene from the Miss Marvel series. Ahead of the trailer being released, Marvel Studios released an audio teaser under the banner "Breaking," newly obtained audio from space. Various voices could be heard against sounds of interference and static. Someone sounds like Monica Rambeau is heard saying "hello," while Samuel L. Jackson Nick Fury says, "Where's Captain Rambeau?" Larson also talked about her two upcoming passion projects for Disney Plus: the short film "Remembering," exploring the power of imagination, and the docuseries "Growing Up," following young adults aged between 18 to 22 years old, coming of age in their experiences. I'm so lucky that I got to play pretend with my job, she told Good Morning America. The fact that I'm an actor came from me, from being a small child saying to my mom, I feel like sitting here on the couch talking about these projects is an honor and the inner child in me. I have a very vivid interior world, and it's something I've cultivated and is very special to me, said Larson. On the docu-series, Larson said she has decided to focus on the 18 to 22-year-old demographic due to her own experiences at that age. It started me from realizing that I had deep feelings of shame and this fear that I was unlovable and that there were parts of me, of myself, that I should never share or show, she explained. Okay, let's get right to it because, first of all, this looks amazing. Um, so this is going to be huge. Let's call a spade a spade. And this is going to be, it looks fun. It looks like a blast. And I can't wait to see this. I really can't. Um, so that being said, I think it's one of those things where I think this sequel is, so you got to understand something, okay? Um, that Captain Marvel made one, the first one, okay, well, obviously, made $1.1 billion, and it actually had a $160 million budget, and it made 153 million opening weekend, and it grossed 1.1. This is one of those films for Marvel that was huge. Um, I don't expect this to be that big, but I expect it to be in the 7 to 800 million dollar range. Um, this is just, we're continuing the story now. Miss, you got to understand, got to remember too. Miss Marvel was one of the most watched, okay, if not the most watched streaming show on Disney Plus when that originally came out. So we're now seeing a new hero come in, and this is all going to be building again. Um, I can't wait. I can't wait. I think this is going to be really fun. I think in November, see, you have another Disney film coming out, but it's going to be up against some tough competition. So you're going to have Dune, okay, and then you're going to have later on you're going to have Wonka and everything else. Um, so it's one of those things. So let's get to one of our viewers. He says Guardians of the Galaxy will make close to $1 billion. I tend to agree with you, Kevin, and I think that this has a you know I think this has a shot. Guardians has a shot to make close to $200 million opening weekend. And when you look at it, um, the fact that Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness was it made $187 million last year, and it was an average film, average, and it almost made $1 billion worldwide. If that's average, what, and this is going to be the last one, and Gunn has said this is really emotional. If go back and watch the story that I did about a week ago, and how he breaks it down and said it was a trilogy. It was a phenomenal interview that Empire did, and I did a story by it. Um, the Marvels will make $1 billion. You really think so? I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be close. Um, I think the Marvels. I think Captain Marvel was one of those films that everybody wanted to see, right? And they finally got it. And when it did, it exploded, right? $153 million opening weekend. It made $426 million domestic, and it made the rest overseas. So I, if I had to put a number on it today, okay, 5 months out, 6 months out, I'm saying around $850 million, which is phenomenal. And you got to understand something too. This budget is probably the same, if not more, than what the actual first film was. The first film had a $160 million budget. So we'll see. I think it's going to be interesting. Um, Pixar's Elemental will do decent at 4 to 5, and that's the other thing too. That's the other thing too. So Pixar, so Elemental was that other film I was referring to. That's going to be interesting because they have two different films going up against each other. And don't forget, you're going to have a film like Wonka be out with Timothy Chalamet reprising his role. I mean, not reprising. He's going to be playing Willy Wonka. You've got Dune. You've got this. You've got a ton of good stuff. So I think this is really going to do well. Um, I'm excited for this. I think that, I mean, we get a little glimpse in here to one of the shots here. Of course, this is when she's probably, if I had to guess, I have no inside knowledge. So my guess is this is when she's probably going to meet Miss Marvel, and she's like, okay, what is this? Somebody's a little obsessed, you know. Little Mermaid box office runs. Yeah, I could say. I mean, it's all gonna. I'll say this much, Kevin. It's all gonna depend on their opening weekend. If they can do well opening weekend, if this gets good word of mouth, I think it will do good numbers. I think that this has to A, get good word of mouth, but B, more importantly, I think that it has to do well overseas. And so I think if it does well overseas, you're going to see it do 800 to 900 million dollars. Um, but yeah, I can't wait for this. I can't wait for this movie. This looks incredible. This looks like a blast, and I can't wait to see it. Um, so, what do you think, guys? Do you think that this is going to make $1 billion, like Kevin said? Do you think it's going to make 800, 900? Do you think that this is going to be as good, if not better, than Captain Marvel? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments.